Hi, guys. Welcome to Seriously Kate. We're on our third episode. Thank you to everyone that's been listening so far. I'm super grateful. I've been loving some of you guys' feedback. The people have DM'd me and just have texted me, or people I know me have texted me. So I really do appreciate you guys for listening, and I love to hear you guys' feedback and what you think of some of these episodes. Today, I wanted to really focus on a little background about me, or just kind of what I've been up to, or some hot takes I have. And then second half is going to be really focused on why you should say no to certain things and just boundaries. Cut point boundaries. Boundaries is the word of the day. I think that I've grown a lot in that department of just, it's real strict, guys. It's really, really strict over here. And I love that it's super strict because I'm at peace because people don't play with me. And I appreciate that. So, we're gonna dive deep into that one. And I'm just excited for today's episode. So let's get started. So for this first half, I'm just gonna call it what's been in my head. So last week I went to Mobile, Alabama to visit my family. I ate a lot, went to the beach, and really just chilled with my grandparents. My grandparents, for an example, are kind of in their mid 70s to early 80s, listening to just their stories, and all grandparents do is watch the news. Their political takes, and just kind of hear about their glory days. I know my my grandmother said, and I don't know the time period for this, but I'm assuming it's probably 1960s. She was just talking about her growing up and how it was the good old days. And they're both from Alabama, mind you. And in my mind, when I think of 1960s, I'm like, I don't know if this was the good old days. But I think that they made the most with what they had and how life was then. And it's just really incredible to hear their stories about that time period, and some of the fun they would have. So I really enjoyed myself. I love Mobile in general just because I spent a lot of my summers there with my grandparents, so it just always feels like something I need to do. As soon as it hits May, I'm when am I going to Mobile? I gotta go. I'm like Party Next Door. Party Next Door said he gotta get his girl from Mobile. And I understand that. I'm not from Mobile, but I get it. I understood. I knew what he meant. So, yeah, anyways, I just love Mobile, and I just always have a blast there. And then I wanted to touch on how I've been obsessed over this week and a half with Love Island USA. Not to be I was there before y'all, but I was. I watched Love Island years ago, but also, which I feel like a lot of people did, honestly. And I really like the UK version. I think I started the UK version was my first taste was kind of after COVID. So maybe I don't know what season that was, but I was an avid UK Love Island watcher. I didn't watch US until last season. I hopped on the US train like I feel like mostly everyone did. But when I tell you that Love Island has taken over my Twitter feed, it's literally just US or UK because I watch both now. It's literally that's all that's on my Twitter right now. And the memes are so funny. People's hot takes on TikTok are so funny because what is going on? And right now, I don't know if you guys watch Love Island, but right now I actually am rooting for Ace and Shelly to get the ball rolling. Can you guys just date already? Can you make it official? And will I say it was Ace absolutely insane? Yes. 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 I don't know what's wrong with Ace. Ace, he's messy, which makes great TV, reality TV. He's funny, makes great reality TV. And I feel like he's very direct. And I think with the topics that we're going to have on this podcast today about boundaries and your no's, he's really strict. Like, well, he's strict with who he want to be strict with, but you guys get it. And I think Shelly is also straightforward, and I think that they would work. I find Amaya absolutely hilarious and crazy. She's funny though, but she's absolutely crazy. Who else? Huda and Jeremiah can't stand. I want them voted off the island so bad. It's not gonna happen. Olandria and Tyler. I don't even know his name because he's so boring. No shade. So boring. And who else is there? Austin. I know everyone has their hot takes about Austin, but Austin is carrying right now. I'm not blind though, but he's by far like the best person on that show, which is crazy. Charlie and the Hannah girl, it's kind of like, eh. I don't know when this episode's gonna drop, so a lot could happen. Like people could be done from the island by the time this drops. But Nick and Sierra, I like them. I don't know if that's a hot take. I could see that. That works well for me. But I think if Nick gets to Casa, it's over. It's over. But anyways, that's just been my like obsession for the last week and a half because it just started and then like UK started this week. So when they be like in it, like I'm in it. I'm deep in I'm deep in Love Island right now. And then in the next couple weeks, I'm really really excited because I'm going to see Beyonce. Clock it, clock it. Unlike some people, Cowboy Carter has grown on me. It wasn't my favorite at first, but the more that I listen to it, I really do like the album, and I really do think it did deserve album of the year. That could be a hot take. I don't care. I'm going in Houston. I love the city of Houston, period. But going to a Beyonce concert in Houston, I feel like is about to be like a new experience for me. I'm going with two of my good friends, and I'm just really excited to just kind of like party around Houston and sing my heart out and lose my voice, put on my cowgirl boot, and really just hit the town. Finding an outfit has been interesting because I'm gonna be honest, I just don't wear like country concert attire. So like I know like some people were able to like just pull it out their closet. Unfortunately, I'm not that blessed. So it's been a search, but I found this really cute Princess Polly set. Teasing the outfit. Polly set that I think will be cute. And I got some cute boots and guys, come as you are, you know. So that's how I'm coming, and I'm excited just to go and eat. I love Houston's food. Go eat, sing, see Beyonce, and just have a great, great, great weekend. Yeah. So that's kind of what's been going on in my life lately. When I dropped my episode with my bestie Tegan, that was just such a fun episode to record. In general, like I really appreciate my girl for coming on, and she's the best. She's so sweet, and I'm glad she was just able to come on to like give a little tad bit about our experience at ASU. And I noticed recently, like later after we recorded that, people on TikTok were going like viral off their like Alabama State experiences. And I know just from like me knowing other student athletes that like didn't play soccer and just other people that just weren't even an athlete and they just went to school there. I feel like everyone's experience is different And I mean, it's like you have to respect it though. That's people's experience. That's how they felt. I loved Alabama State. I loved it. I enjoyed it. I'm not gonna sit here and lie and be like, did I want to like quit soccer or like, did soccer make me sad or like depressed at times? Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Yes, it did. But I really did enjoy the school, enjoyed the people that I met, and just the community. So I wanted to give my 2 cents just to advocate that I think people have their own experiences, and I think that you should do things for yourself to get your own experience, and then you can talk about it and be like, y'all was right, like coaches was bad, staff was bad. You really got to know somebody. Da 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 da. Da. All can be true if that's your experience. But I think you should experience it for yourself and not just go word of mouth. Now, I want to go into why I can't say no. And it shows sometimes to certain situations that has happened to me. And then I wanted to kind of give some scenarios. I love a scenario about like things I would say no to or yes to. I feel like over this past year, and even me going from like high school to college to graduating, um, I feel like I for sure was very, very, very nice. I had a very much people pleasing complex, or I enjoyed getting along to get along. And now I feel like like I said earlier, it's real strict around here. Like I don't really take a lot of anymore. I just don't. I just don't have the energy to like do it anymore. And I think it comes to a point where that kind of just happens naturally. But I wanted to talk about today of kind of like, should I say no? I can say no. I thought it would be really important to talk about that and like just boundaries of like sometimes you really do have to tell people no. Sometimes you need to say no. Actually, no. And I think it's appropriate. I think it would be best if I maybe talked about a time I feel like I was just way too nice in this situation. I know one time I was having a disagreement with a friend and we had mutual friends. I was like, hey, like, girly pop, if you want to talk, let's talk. Let's chit chat. When I thought of that, I'm thinking of like, oh, it's just gonna be me and her chit chatting. And slowly, people that weren't involved in the situation slowly started like coming into like my room or my space. And it was abnormal. I was kind of like, why are y'all here? Like, why are y'all here? Why are y'all here? And eventually they just came just to like, I'm thinking like, I don't know. I'm like, they just came to chill and talk to me. And I was like, okay. Like, okay, we could talk. And then my friend that I was having a disagreement with, she walks in and then suddenly this conversation that was supposed to be A B has turned to the peanut gallery and a A B C D E F G H I J K L M N O P conversation. And I'm like, wait a second. Wait a second. I was like, I'm done talking. I was like, this is not what we're gonna do today in in this room. And I just kind of was like, I really have nothing to say because this isn't between all of us. And I just stopped talking. In reality, if I would do this over, well, I won't say if I would do this over. Now I would have handled it really differently. People wouldn't have had that much access to me. You're getting kicked out of the room, right? Like I gotta kick the peanut gallery out the room because who is you? Who are you? Why are you here? The peanut gallery gotta go. And but like before a conversation is had, I'm gonna be like, y'all gotta go, y'all gotta go. And if they have something to say, it's kind of like, oh, now I get to curse you out. Like, get the out. Get out. Bye. Like, you're in my space. You're in my room. Who told you you can come in my room and like just talk? Right. It wouldn't happen now. But then I just kind of was like I'm not speaking to anyone. Now y'all look crazy because I'm not talking to anyone. I'm mute because like why would I give y'all that opportunity to be like, "Oh my God, and she said this and she said this." No, you're not getting nothing out of me. Nothing. And now these people just would have got cursed out. They would have got cursed out. They would have been physically removed. And I'm not saying by me, like security. Like they would have gone removed. Because why are you here? This conversation, it really you. Yeah. Yeah. So that was the time where I feel like I was just too nice. Like it was just like, nah, like bye. Like, why are you here? I know I've said that plenty of times because why were they there? I don't understand. But I'm being vague about the story, but this is like it was just so strange to me. And after everyone left, I kind of went to the girl and I was like, am I like unapproachable? Like we've been cool. Like you can't just talk to me. Like why do you need like 10, 11,000 people to talk to me? Like we're good. Like like what's going on? And I think if I did it differently, everyone that was there kicked out. Eh, like it was just really uncalled for. Also share another story that I should have said no, or I should have maybe stood up for myself more. But at the end of like high school, I was dating someone, and in this relationship, I'm gonna be honest, it was good times. The goods were good. The lows were very, very low. And I was sad or like in my head about the relationship most of it. And I would go home and cry or just be like really sad. And like my mom obviously would notice this and she would be like, "What's wrong? What's going on?" And I would like, tell her, I was like, "Girl, this." And she would just be like, "Why are you still in this relationship? Break up with him, break up with him." A little context, a little background. The start of this relationship was messy. I can admit that. It was messy. Very, very, very messy. And with the mess that I didn't bring, honestly. Well, I won't say I didn't bring. I was 25% of the mess, and then there was a 75% of the mess. Messy. That I probably shouldn't have done this relationship from the beginning because it started off so messy and the communication was just crazy. Insane. So, with this came like maybe like people weren't too fond of me at the end of high school, which honestly, I cared a little bit back then. That no, I didn't care. I didn't care. But with this guy, we were good friends. So like we would be around each other all the time. He was around me all the time. I would see him at school, everywhere, and that I knew that if I broke up with him, that my last couple weeks of high school would be really, really like messy, dreadful, depressing, just a lot going on. So I would be like, Mom, I can't break up with him because like they're gonna say this, they're gonna say that, he's gonna do this, they're gonna do this, they're gonna do that. And she was literally like, who gives a And I think back then I should have been like, I'm not being treated well in this situation. This is confusing. This is toxic. I'm saying no to the relationship. I don't want to be in it. Bye. Broke up. Done. It's over with. And at that time, I was very non confrontational. And like I said in the beginning, very, very nice. That I just kind of was like, actually, Mom, I'm going to be dreadful in this relationship for a couple weeks until after we graduate. After I graduate, he's gonna go his separate way. I'm gonna go my separate way. It's probably gonna naturally dissolve. And my mom was like, I really don't understand. Like, she was like so confused by this decision making because I was so non-confrontational that she was like, I don't get why this is like, why are you doing this? She was very confused and she was like, girl, just break up with him now. And I was like, no, 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 I'm gonna wait until I don't have to see him anymore, like every day at school. Like, I'm gonna wait. And so, literally, by the way, me and this person would like break up like every other day. Literally every other day in high school. It was weird. And literally like 2 days after we graduated, we like broke up and we never got together ever again. And it's really funny because we were still really good friends. And I was like, you were the worst. We're definitely better as friends and like with a friendship than like us dating. And that's a time where I think I should have, not I think, I know, I should have been like, this is way too much. It's a no for me. I should have stood on business more. I should have been really, really stricter. Just stricter all together. Like just be like, this isn't for me. It can't be. And I'm done. I wanted to share a story where I could have advocated for myself more and been a little bit more confrontational, stood on business to be like, it's not gonna work out. And that's okay. And I think people need to understand that it's okay that things work out because there's always something better for you. If God ever replaces anyone for you, it's because something better is coming up. And then sometimes it's really just good to be single and just vibe. Like just vibe, get to know people, get to kind of know what you like, who you like, what you like, and focus on yourself because you're the prize here. When you grow as a person, you attract people that are similar to you or on the same growth that you are because you wouldn't want to deal with someone that takes you down because you've elevated. You're like, nah, I'm done. I'm good. I need a better situation. Like, been there, done that. I need a better situation. So I have some scenarios because I always have some scenarios about what you say in these situations. Would you say no if a family member wants to borrow $200 from you for the third time, not the first, for the third time, and they're like, this is the last time I'm gonna ask you for this money. They either like don't pay you back or like they just repeatedly ask you for money. Like, would you say no? Me answering for myself, for a lot of my family members, if I do like let them borrow money most of the time, they give it back. But I try to be a cheerful giver. And this could be a hot take, cheerful giver that sometimes I feel like they just needed more than me. They just needed more than me. So I say like sure sometimes. I'm like, yeah. Yeah. See, maybe I am too nice. Maybe I'm still too nice. I'm saying yeah, but for the third time and I haven't received like any payback and I feel like it's like a transactional like relationship, like you're only just like taking, 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 taking. Like you don't even be like, yo, are you good? Like then I think I would be like, no. Especially $200. $200 is that's not a hefty just like hand over. Like that's a good fee. So this situation, this scenario, I would say no, but I wouldn't mind helping to a certain extent. Or I'll be like, I don't have like 200, but I can give you 25. And maybe that's just me being too nice. I don't know. Your situationship wants you to go to a family cookout and he says, just don't post me. He brings you to his family cookout and he'd be like, oh, by the way, don't post this. I would be like, no, I don't want to be around your family or eat y'all if I can't, even though honestly, who says that I would go there, be happy to post anyway? I probably wouldn't. But the fact that you're trying to give me like a heads up that I can't post, that I'm like with your family or like eating at a cookout with you, it's kind of weird to me. Like, why is that? Why is that? So it would be a no for me for that. But I'm gonna do a poll on my Instagram, which would be great to highlight. It's seriously.kate on Instagram. Follow. I'm gonna launch a poll and I wanna know if this is like a no to you or if you would do this. So yeah, I'm gonna launch a poll and I wanna know if you have some like no's to this or if this is like, yes, you don't care. Go to seriously.kate, do the poll. I'm looking forward to hearing if these are like no's, absolutely no's. Girl, you know that's a no. And with saying no and standing up yourself comes to my third segment of, oh, it's really strict here, aka boundaries. I want to say first that I think everyone should try to have boundaries in general. And I think that not having boundaries is honestly dangerous. You can put yourself in dangerous situations, things that you have no business being in. It's dangerous. Like, I feel like it's like maybe like I'm being dramatic, but it is dangerous. Like, having no boundaries is dangerous because I feel like when you do have boundaries, you show people how they can treat you. And like, it is a respect thing. And, some people go day by day just being disrespectful. And I feel like you really have to show people how to treat you just off bat and be like, I don't know who you've dealt with. I don't know who you've been friends with, but that isn't going to go here with me. Like that can't come here with me because I'm crazy. I'm like crazy. I like this, like, I want a peaceful situation. I want peaceful friendships, peaceful relationships. You guys get my point. I think it's dangerous not having any boundaries. I feel like it's also really hard to set boundaries too, especially when it comes to like people you love or things that you do every day. And some of these boundaries could even be like big or small, like a small boundary or like, I'm not gonna do this every day, or I'm not gonna go buy Chipotle and get that steak bowl because I'm not gonna eat Chipotle every day. I'm gonna go home and cook myself a healthy meal. I don't know if that's like a real boundary or not, but a boundary I'm setting. I'm not going there. Not today. Also, there's really boundaries that it's just like in friendships and like if you're dating people, like there's like underlining things that I feel like needs to be set and that if it's not respected, then it's like we have nothing to talk about. You can't even respect my boundaries, which I feel like most boundaries people aren't really asking for a lot. So it's like if you can't accept the little things, how am I supposed to think you're going to respect me in general? You can't even respect the little things. So, I wanted to share a crazy story about when I had to set a boundary um with someone that I dated like on and off for a couple years. It's not the same person that I've mentioned before, but I had an ex who I dated on and off and he cheated on me, and that after he cheated on me, me and him, like, we still like talked and we were really cool. Like I said, it was on and off again. But with the girl he cheated on me with, she was still very much active in his life still, which is insane. But she was. And that one time she didn't have a car. And I think his car was either like broken down or in the shop or something. Mind you, he cheated on me with this girl. He texted my phone and was like, hey, like, about to ask you a wild question, you can say no. So when people text me stuff like that anyway, I'm like, why are you asking me the question? If you know it's a stupid question, don't ask me. Leave me out of it. I have to sit up for this. Leave me out of it. In this question, he asked me, "Hey, can you please drive us to Walmart? She's hungry at her house and she doesn't have groceries." I wanted to text back, "Let that starve and you starve with her. Starve, starve." And in that moment, realize like, oh, I'm too nice because why do you feel comfortable even asking me a dumb question like that? Why do you feel comfortable asking me that? And even though like the situation was just messy anyway, it really made me reflect on like, why does he thinks I'm stupid? He thinks I'm crazy. Like, why would you even ask me to do something like this? Like, that's insane. Like, what? Like, that did, like, imagine I got my goofy ass in the car and, like, drove them to Walmart. That would, like, that's crazy. So, I immediately was like, you got me up. I think that was literally the response. Like, you got me up. No. And I think he was like, I figured I just wanted to ask. But it made me, like, really, like, be like, why, you knew that answer. Why did you, like, why would you even want to put me in a situation to even drive somewhere with this person who you cheat on me with and who did not like me? It was really strange. Like when people were like, "You're weird," like it was really weird. Like why? So from those situations of me just kind of like growing and learning, I'm like, I don't want anyone to ever think or ever be that comfortable asking me dumb questions. Like, that was the boundary I had to set because it's like, are you trying like, are you plotting to kill me? Like, are you trying to set me up? Like, why would I do something like that? Like, why would I do something like that? And then like, I didn't understand the question. I just didn't understand like, why would you ask me that? Like, I know I've had my moments. I know I probably did things. I was too nice in certain situations. I was probably passive. Like I said, people pleasing. I was letting things slide, but that question was diabolical. Diabolical. Like honestly, like would y'all do that? And y'all better say no. Y'all better say no. Cause I would have been crazy. And from that situation, well, it was more than that situation, just for me growing anyway. But that situation, I kind of was like, oh, in my next relationship, they won't be comfortable asking me like dumb questions like that. Definitely like it I grew from that dumb moment because it was like, mm, what? What? Like, huh? And I don't think I've ever cursed that good until that day. That was some of my best work. And I think sometimes people need to get cursed out because they know not to treat you or ask you questions anymore. You all move on. We all move on. I just had to tell that story because I feel like it really, really made me be like, oh girl, I'm gonna be strict. I gotta be stricter. Cause you think I'm stupid. You think I'm crazy. You think I'm crazy. If you think I'm going for that, you think I'm crazy. So this all to conclude that sometimes it is best to be stand on business, go with your gut, trust yourself to be like, I don't like this situation. Um, I'm uncomfortable. Why would they even put me in a position to even have to make this decision or that decision? This is a no. And I really understand why old people are like aggravated because like people say crazy stuff and it's like, no, like, no, like I understand because I think as I get older, I'm more aggravated at like dumb stuff. Like, no, it's a no. And I think that setting boundaries is just really important. I'm going to conclude with that. It's hard to set them, but it's really the best to do for your mental health, and your life will elevate and be more peaceful afterwards. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Seriously Kate. I've really enjoyed talking about this. I talk with my friends about stuff like this all the time. I'm just kind of like, girl, you should have cursed them out. Or like, girl, like how girl, like no, like you gotta curse people out. And I bet they won't ever play with you like that ever again. Before I log off, I'm gonna plug, please follow me at seriously.kate. Also, I'm gonna start posting on TikTok more often with some of the clips. Follow me on there too. I'm excited to drop this episode because boundaries are so important. Love you guys. Thank you for listening. Talk to you soon. Bye.